The rain poured over the city as I walked into work like I had every morning for the last 15 years. I wasn't just another employee. I had helped build this company from the ground up. Very few people knew the truth, because my role had always stayed behind the scenes. That morning, everything changed. Inside the lobby, employees rushed past without making eye contact. Everyone seemed nervous after rumors of major layoffs spread through the building. I quietly greeted the receptionist before heading upstairs. Something felt different that morning. Only minutes after arriving, Human Resources asked me to report to the executive conference room. The request came without explanation. As I entered, the CEO and several executives were already waiting. None of them smiled. The CEO calmly informed me that my position had been eliminated. She thanked me for my years of service before sliding a termination envelope across the table. The decision had already been finalized. The room became completely silent. I gathered my personal belongings without raising my voice or arguing. Some co-workers quietly looked away while others watched in disbelief. Years of dedication disappeared in only a few minutes. Still, I walked out with dignity. Outside the building, the rain soaked my jacket within seconds. I looked back at the company I had helped build. Instead of anger, I felt strangely calm. Then my phone rang. The call came from someone I hadn't spoken to in months. After listening quietly, I answered with only a few calm words. Please schedule the board meeting immediately. Everything began changing from that moment. Across town, board members quickly received an urgent notification. A confidential meeting had been called for that same afternoon. Senior executives were caught completely off guard. Confusion spread throughout the headquarters. Meanwhile, I picked up my daughter Emily from school just as I always did. She smiled the moment she saw me waiting outside. I never wanted work problems to steal time away from my family. She remained my greatest priority. As evening approached, the company's executives gathered inside the boardroom, expecting an ordinary meeting. They had no idea why every board member had arrived in person. The atmosphere was tense before anyone even spoke. Within minutes, the truth would finally come out. The boardroom fell completely silent as the chairman entered with several legal advisors. Instead of taking a seat, they asked everyone to remain where they were. The CEO's confident smile slowly disappeared. Something was clearly very different. The chairman announced that an internal governance review had just been completed. Several executive decisions required immediate investigation. No one in the room expected what they heard next. The atmosphere became tense. Then the conference room doors opened once again. I calmly walked inside wearing the same rain-soaked jacket from earlier. Every executive stared in complete disbelief. No one expected me to return. The chairman welcomed me with a handshake and invited me to speak. He explained that I had remained one of the company's largest long-term shareholders through a confidential investment agreement. Many executives were hearing this for the very first time. The room became completely silent. I quietly explained that leadership should always value integrity, respect, and people. No company succeeds by forgetting those who helped build it. The board members listened carefully to every word. The executives avoided eye contact. Following the review, the board voted to replace several senior leadership positions. The decision focused on accountability and restoring trust throughout the company. Employees would soon be informed of the leadership changes. A new chapter was beginning. The following morning, employees gathered in the company auditorium. The chairman introduced a renewed vision centered on fairness and teamwork. I thanked every employee for their dedication through the years. The applause lasted several minutes. Rather than celebrating, I spent the afternoon visiting different departments. I listened to employees share their ideas and concerns. Real leadership begins by listening before making decisions. The company finally felt hopeful again. That evening, Emily hugged me after hearing that everything had worked out. She reminded me that staying kind had always been my greatest strength. Her words meant more than any business victory. Family remained my greatest success. Looking out across the city skyline, I realized true leadership is earned through character, not titles. Respect cannot be demanded. It must be demonstrated every single day. Sometimes the greatest comeback begins with walking away in dignity. And that lesson changed far more than one company.